Alright, we're live. Alright, so what I want to do today is just spend an hour.
Well, hello everyone.
Hello everyone. There's nobody here.
You never know. Don't tell.
Okay.
Anyway, hello everyone.
Last night we went about 2 hours. This time I kind of want to just do 1 hour. So here it is, 10:50. We're gonna go to 11:50. It's good to set the bar high in the long run, but it's good to set a small goal in the interim. So what I want to do today for this hour is to teach you something of like conditions, like if statements, if this, then that. And particularly, I think this is going to be needed for this, just for determining the color of the letter, because we really have already set up our conditions for if something is yellow or green. And notice this one's like, this is going to be green or yellow.
Yeah.
So we almost want to run this one first. If this is true, then it's green.
Yes.
And then, but if it's not, let's keep going. Let's like keep running our check. Right?
Yeah.
So this is true.
Then
Knowing that this isn't true.
Yeah.
Like,
then it's definitely.
then it's yellow. And if this isn't true, then it's
Then it's gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so that's good. That's what I'm trying to set up. So we're gonna learn the statement that allows us to do that.
Okay.
So.
Hey, go ahead. I was gonna say I think we have to kind of evaluate some of these.
Oh yeah.
So that we can
Go ahead.
be able to use.
You want to evaluate some of them?
I would love to. I think I have to go all the way back to defining what the correct word and all that is. Because otherwise it has no idea what I'm talking about for some reason. Okay. Oh man. Just gonna go through and I did not do. I'm gonna go through and kind of.
You don't have to do too many of these.
Oh, I'm doing them all every
Okay.
time. You're
Why?
like, this is
you
not
looking at them?
necessary. I might.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might decide I want to look at them. Oh man. Yeah, it'll be good to have these in my mind and
There might be a
refresh.
thing that does this.
Yeah, we can look into that for
Evaluate all.
next time. Yeah, I'm sure that has to be it. That would make a lot of sense to have this thing. Evaluate all the things that are currently in CodeBlox. Okay. There we have it.
So I started out by doing this thing where I'm like, okay, is it green? Is it yellow? But I think the wording's going to be weird
Mm-hmm.
because it's yellow kind of relies on green. So I think it's almost best to just combine it. So I was going in this direction of, like, yeah, it's good to have small function for things, but sometimes it's simpler to just put them in the same function.
Okay.
This is kind of an art, I guess, and a preference. So, so I said define a yellow as same as green, but why don't we define a color function, and then
A color function. Wow. Okay.
yeah, that returns the color of the letter
Oh,
at that
that's
position.
intense. All right.
So
A little more complex.
define a function called color. Wow,
Yeah, how'd
See
you
that
do that
pie?
pie?
that's impressive.
That was. What was that?
I'm always anytime. So you notice the quotes, like these
Oh,
are,
those
these
are-
are this is double prime, and then this is an actual open quote,
Oh yeah, I see.
and then this is a close quote. So
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
then this is like a prime, and then this is a open prime or open single quote, and then a close one. So
How'd you do all this?
I'm always,
But the
because I'm
pie.
crazy about typography, I'm
Okay.
always doing option and then open bracket. So I missed the open bracket that time, and I hit P, and I discovered that option P is
Oh.
pi.
Nice.
So, because I'm so crazy about typography, where it's like, you better not use a hyphen, you better use an N dash or an N dash.
Wow,
So
how did you
it's
just
like-
do those? Oh my gosh, you're
It's
so
because
crazy.
it's option.
Is this a MacBook
hyphen.
thing or? Is
Yeah,
this-
these are, I memorized the ones for the MacBook.
Oh, okay. So it's specific to MacBook.
Yeah.
I was like, I could just do that on like any computer.
Yeah, and then the minus sign. There's also a minus sign that's different from all of that,
Mm.
and because it's supposed to line up with with the plus sign,
Mm.
but in some fonts they don't actually line up
Wow.
vertically. But the minus sign is not actually accessible from the keyboard. You have to insert it a different way. But anyway, that was a tangent.
I like
Define,
that. That's cool.
define a function called color.
Yeah, what are we? I forgot.
That analogize. I guess I'll just go through this thing again. Correct word, guess word, and then letter position n again. And then and returns.
Oh, these boys.
G is green.
Okay. I like that.
Y is yellow. And space if neither.
Okay. Space.
Oh.
How will it return? How will we know it's returning space?
Kind of the same way that you would type any character. It's like this and then space. I think it'll print it out in a way that you can see it. Is that
Okay.
true? So it'll give you the little.
Wow. Very cool. Very nice.
So I think. So the idea here is that what we can do is, so why is this a string? Like, why are we returning UI as that instead of just the full word? That's because I think at the end of it, what I want to do is to just have a function that is returning the kind of a string. So if you're comparing y to Flint, ultimately I want the function to return something like space g space y. I'm sorry, space y, and then maybe an underscore if we want, since that's a little bit more helpful to look at.
Mm-hmm.
So just to encode what we know about the answer. So this is kind of a hangman, except the letters that are revealed are the colors of the letters.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I see.
let's do that. Yeah. So that's.
Was that an underscore?
Yeah, I think this will take a longer to get. I think that'll take maybe another couple sessions
Oh, okay.
to build up the knowledge to do that.
Wow.
But for now, I really want to build this function by the end of the hour.
Wow. Okay.
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 Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Kind of what our goal is.
I think so. Yes.
That
No.
to just have Wordle be the end goal is like, it's a huge goal, because there's so much to learn. So I think having the goal of having this function return a kind of hangman style string would be nice.
Small
Yeah.
achievable goals
Yeah.
before we reach the big one. Okay.
Cool.
Down for that.
Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna learn something called. Should we do if? Should we do if? I'll teach you cond, and then I'll teach you if. So
Okay.
cond is like if this and that, if that, if that. It's like if this, then that. If not, check this next condition. So it's like it's a list of conditions. It's like, so cond means conditionals. You're just like checking. It's almost like a table of conditions that you're
Okay.
building. If this is true, do that. If not, check the next condition
Okay.
and then return that. So it's
That
it's
makes
just
sense.
okay. So that's easy. So go ahead and
For you.
so go ahead and type this out. Say cond.
All right. I'm gonna assume that it's like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I have put that in? I should have started it in that. Oh wow. I don't
Just
know.
hit enter again. And then again.
Okay. Should I have started it like that?
Cond. Yeah.
In the parentheses.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
And go ahead and press enter. So, like I said, we're gonna kind of build
Oh,
a
like
table.
A table of things.
So,
Okay.
usually what I like to do, well, you can. So white space is really only there to separate terms inside of a list. So you can add as many spaces. You can new lines are also white space. So that's why we can press enter and it not actually affect anything in the program.
Okay.
It just allows you to visually space it out the way you want. So because these things are going to be, it's kind of, we want to do it in a tabular nature. It's just like, let's just do it line by line. So So why don't we put in our green condition?
Okay.
You know, we're in a function. Why don't we define our function? Because that was our goal here. So let's
Alright.
first let's put this cond inside of a function we're trying to make.
What? Am I defining?
Yeah, we're gonna define a function.
And what are we calling
And cond
it?
is gonna be the first part of this function.
Wait, so we're gonna define
Mm-hmm.
cond?
Make sure that
Because cond's already
because-
defined, right?
Yeah, it's already defined. So cond is going to be the fourth part of the function definition. Remember there are 4 parts.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be name, it's gonna be defn, name, and then the parameters, and then the fourth part is what it returns. So we're gonna
Okay, so you want
return a
cond.
cond.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So what is the function we're defining?
That's
What
right
do we
here.
call? We're gonna be color.
Hmm.
We're going all the way in. All right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it's not all the way in,
I feel
because the thing at the end is going to put together all the colors into the same string.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the all the way
I
in.
feel like that's what we're doing. Is it not?
We're defining the color of a single letter right now.
Oh, we're not doing all
Yeah.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
Do they have to go?
They probably do.
They have to go.
Okay.
We'll be back.
I've been thinking about that. It's like, oh, these dogs. We should have
got you.
pottied them before we started this out. Okay. Gonna try to work through this a little bit. Okay, so there's 4 parts to this. Gonna try to follow the last one that we did up here. Except I don't know if I should be using a vector or what. Yeah, I should. Okay. We're gonna find a function called color that receives the correct word, the guess word, and a letter position N. And okay, so that's the first part is to define. Okay, the first part is defining a function. The second part is, excuse me, y'all, tired. Okay, the second part is what it receives. Wait, no. Let's see. Okay. And then I feel like I need to look further up. Let's go up. Let's go up. All right. So there are 4 parts. We do the define, the name, what it receives, and what it returns, right? Okay. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so that means I've got the define, the name, the what it receives, and now I'm asking it to return to me cond, right? And that I would do in this, like that, I think. Okay.
Who didn't go?
Oh, really?
Okay, cool. Let's start.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
But go ahead and just put cond on its own line.
Okay.
Because,
Yeah,
we're going to need
we're
some
gonna
room.
need some space.
Yay.
That's,
Oh, color. Yeah, because we are asking what the color is.
But it doesn't need to
But the question mark is for if something returns true or false.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So
So
you need to
we
return
are-
multiple different
Yeah.
things. Okay. So my thought process was we're defining, that's like the first piece,
Mhm.
and then color is the name. So
Mhm.
we're defining a function called color that receives in my vector the correct
Ooh.
word. It returns, it receives the correct word, the guess word, and the position, letter position N.
Mhm.
and we want it to return to us the cond, which we have yet to fully spell out what these cons are, but that's what we're doing so far. Yeah?
Exactly.
Okay. I'm
All
gonna
right.
spit this out and see what happens.
It's not gonna work
Oh.
because, well, I guess cond can actually exist by itself apparently, but cond needs some things. But
Right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah.
But we have
so-
to give it the cond,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
we haven't given it yet.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You
So
do that.
far,
You're
so
just
good.
trying to check in to see
Yeah, no.
if it's right so far.
Making sure. Yeah, no.
Okay.
All right.
So
Very
the
cool.
structure of a cond, because all these things follow the same kind of list format as you've seen. Cond is going to take a bunch of different things as arguments. So it's going to take it kind of pairwise. It's going to take like, okay, so the first argument is going to be a condition. The second argument is going to be a value if that condition is true. The value that is returned from cond if that condition is true. And then it just keeps going. So you can add as many as you want. So if you want to add 3 conditions, you would have 6 arguments. Because for each condition you have a value that is returned if that condition is true. Does that make sense?
A little, kind of. Okay. I think it'd be easier if I see it
Okay.
to understand it. But I think I get it in theory. So it sounded like you were saying, okay, so like for each argument of the cond, it's like if you. Yeah, I just don't see how there's 2 things. It sounded like you were saying like the value that it's receiving if it's true, like that sounds like one item. So what would be the second item of the argument?
The second item is because cond, like everything else, returns a value. It's promising to like evaluate and give you something back, right? It's not going to give its own list back, right? Because it's a list that means do something and give me something back. So cond has to return, at some point needs to return something. So that's what that second parameter is. It's like the first one is check if this is true. The second one is if that's true, please give me this value back.
Okay, so there's 2 things, like the first thing is just like what you're asking of it, like, but it's just like check if this is true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's true, then do it.
And
if it's
then
false, move on.
to the next set of
Yeah,
parameters.
yeah.
Okay. I see. Okay, I
Yeah.
think that kind of makes sense now. Cool. Okay.
But I guess to start out, that's what cond is. But cond is a simplification. Remember how def-n is a simplification of something else? It's like of def and fn.
Oh yes.
Cond is a combination of a bunch of ifs. So go ahead and just type if.
Somewhere.
Just right where. Just replace cond with
Replace
if.
cond with if. Okay.
Okay. So if
What? If not? If some.
if takes 3 arguments. Okay. The first one is the condition, like we said. The second one is the value to return if it's true. And then the third one is the value to return if it's not true. Okay.
Okay. So check if it's true. The value return if it's true. The value return if it's not true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can understand this is a very basic operation that's needed in program to make any kind of decisions. Because I want to be able to do something differently if something is true or not. So this is cornerstone of being able to do anything in programming to make decisions. So this is very fundamental. I'm surprised we haven't done this yet. Right? We haven't made any decisions. All we've done is just take in something and then just process it or turn it into something. I guess all the stuff that we've been doing is, well, actually it's like it's been happening behind the scenes for us. The equals does that. Anything that returns true or false is doing that in the background.
Oh,
right?
that makes
it's
sense.
making a
Okay.
decision. Yeah. And then includes was also like doing some stuff in the background. Like if this is true, then do that.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
And then
Just haven't had
but
it
things
do
like
it
addition.
ourselves.
No, you're not doing that. So we finally have some logic that we're programming ourselves. Okay.
Okay.
We made a function before we even did any kind of logic. That's interesting. Okay.
Is that okay? Not common.
I don't know.
I just feel so like blind to the whole thing that I'm like, I don't know, just following it.
Yeah.
Makes sense so far.
Okay, why don't we just why don't we say if, and then give it the green condition. If all the stuff that is required for something to be green, then return green, and then
Okay.
if not, then we'll return something else. But we'll get to that part.
Scratch
So
it.
go ahead and fill out the next two parameters of this if statement.
Okay, another wall. Okay. I forget. But this is the thing for green.
Yeah.
But that was to define it. This is the thing to use it.
Mhm.
Ugh.
So you can either use the green function if you just want to call it,
Mhm.
or you can just paste in the logic of that's inside of green and just put that in, because I'm trying to combine all these functions together.
Like, hold on. I don't know how to select things. Like law. Oh, wait, it would just be the. I don't know how to do that. I think I'd have to type it. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. So if given the correct the guess and the n, and it's equals, and I have to sneeze again. Excuse me. Thank you. Okay. And oops. Oh. Guess and okay. There's a lot of parentheses right now.
So right now, if has how many parameters?
3.
Right. But the second parameter, the first parameter needs to be a condition.
Oh, I can understand.
Okay, so this is one thing, this is a second thing, right? And then there's a space, and then there's a third thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But the condition, this needs to be the second thing.
Right. Oh, it has to do that before it does the other?
Like this vector is here. This vector was right here,
Mm-hmm.
right? This was required for a function definition. Like whenever you're defining a function, this vector is just here to say this is what the function receives,
Okay.
right? And then this next part is what's being output,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So, but for an if function,
So this part doesn't belong here because
Oh.
it's already here.
oh,
right?
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I kind of get it. All right. I see.
Okay.
Okay.
So does that make sense so far?
I
If
think so.
that-
So if this is true, then I want it to give me something,
Right.
which I haven't told it what I want it to give me yet. But I
Yeah.
have told it if the nth of the correct word, I don't know how to say this out loud. If the nth correct
The closure's not readable.
yeah, it's like hard to say out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, if these two are equal, then I want it to give me a particular result.
Yeah.
So if this is true, then give me. I just haven't told it what.
Yeah. So now you
Okay.
can tell it what. You can tell it
Um,
what to return. What should be returned if that's true?
G.
All right. Type it out.
So if these are true, how do I tell it? Then I want it to return to me. No. You don't have a caps lock button. How did you do But that's the wrong kind of G, isn't it?
What kind of G do you want to return?
Oh,
That. Yeah.
yeah. There we go.
Yeah. You
Alright.
don't want it in parentheses, right? Because
Oh.
parentheses means that you're going to call something. So it's going to try to call the G, the string G.
Okay.
Right.
So I need to. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I forget that you can't put those in parentheses unless you want it to call in response.
Yeah, because the list means call.
Ah! So much to keep in my brain. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's the first part to get G.
And then, so the last parameter is going to be what's returned if it's not true.
Okay.
So
In
depending on
the
what you want.
in the same if statement.
Mhm.
Okay. So if it's not G, well then it would be either yellow or space. So
Right. So for now, we can, because I just want to test this
okay.
so far, just to see if it's detecting G.
Mm-hmm.
So you can put it in a placeholder for what will be returned if it's not G. You can just give it some string if you want.
So how do I?
So it's just going to be just after G, just specify what to return if it's not green. Just wait.
If it's not G, can I just get like an N or something?
Sure.
Okay. So it knows that this means like if these equal. I hate it. I hate talking about it out loud because I don't know how to say it. But if this is true, if the nth correct and nth guess n equals
If the
true,
nth letter of
the correct word
is
not
equal to the
nth
nth letter of the guess word. Yeah.
Okay. So it knows though that I'm asking if this is true, give me G, and if this is not true, give me N.
Yeah.
With just me putting the G and the N side by side.
I'm sorry. Say that again. That last part.
With me just literally putting the G and the N side by side as strings, as
Right.
it knows
Because
that this one's that this is the. Do you know what I'm asking?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
when there, you said you could keep going and do more than one thing.
But
so
I'm
how
giving
would
you
it-
the simplest way to make a decision, right? So it's if. Right. I was explaining cond in the beginning, and then I was just like, so what we can do. Can you fix Jesus up there? Fell over.
Babe, can you fix Jesus up there?
Okay.
I cannot. Dude.
Um,
That's hilarious.
so this is the simplest way that you can make a decision. I was just trying to keep it simple.
Okay.
It's like, okay, we have a condition for green, and then I said, okay, we can actually put this on its own line. So you can be like, okay, if this is true, then G. If not, like, do this one.
Oh,
So
because if not, it goes on to the next thing.
yeah.
Oh,
So then-
that's how it knows.
So to
I
go
was
on
like,
to
how
the,
does it know?
well, to go on to the next thing, you would have to
Set
okay.
new parameters, right? That's what I thought. That's why I was confused at how the G and the N can just be next to each other, and it knows not to give both back, but to do the first one, and then if it's not true, then do the next one.
Yeah. So that's conned. So you could. So if this were conned, then you could just replace this with like another condition, and then you can like get another word. So it's just, as I was explaining it with conned, it's just it takes in an arbitrary number of condition value pairs. You can just keep adding them. But I wanted to explain if first because conned is like a combination. It's like a simplification of if. It allows you to use like multiple ifs. So
but how does if work? I need you to explain that. I think you've explained con, but I don't think I fully understand the if yet.
yeah, that's confusing the way I'm talking about it.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
So if is it will only ever take 3 parameters: the condition, the true value, and the false value.
Okay, that
Yeah.
helps.
That's all.
what I needed to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah.
I think you just kept referring back to like, well, con does this, and I'm like, yeah, but what does if do? I'm so confused. Okay, because I was like, how does it know?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's fine.
knocked over Jesus.
It's fine.
There you
So yeah, go ahead and evaluate that. Did you already evaluate
go.
it?
No.
No.
Well, no.
You evaluated a version of it.
A portion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. Now I'll just try to use it.
It's just giving me color. Is that what it's supposed to give me?
Yeah, because
Oh, because I'm
color-
defining it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm defining what color it is.
Yeah. and
Okay,
then
so
you
now I
use
need
it.
to use it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm already messing up.
No, you are.
Oh, okay. What?
I was just looking at this example. You used green. You're checking
The second.
the third.
It's the third
Just
letter.
annoying.
I know.
The tooth position.
The tooth position, which is the third letter.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I mean, you can just use that. So you're checking because it's receiving all the same stuff. It's just gonna return G or N.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to find out if color. Can I do the same? Is that what you're saying? Color white.
Blue don't go.
I know. I'm so worried about him after yesterday. In the two position.
In the two position. I like that. That's
Yeah.
better than adding a TH.
They're so okay.
Alright, we got 30 minutes.
Oh gosh, I'm already not going anywhere. Okay. I don't. How do I know if it's gonna use if? Do I have to use if? No, I don't. Right? This is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The if is inside of it.
Yeah,
baked
I was
in.
like, wait, I don't need to type if because it's already like
Yeah.
this is the color includes the
Right.
if. All right, so now we know that will return G. So now let's ask for the third position, which is the fourth letter. Actually, no, let's ask for the fourth position so we can find out. Oh, it won't matter. But I guess either one of them would return the same result, actually. So
Yeah.
it's going to tell me no. And then for the fourth position, which is the letter where.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it'd be the T, which is okay, which eventually will show up as yellow. But right now we're just checking for green. It'll still tell me no.
Nice. Yeah, it works.
It works.
So,
I like. I'm gonna go back to the tooth position so I can.
challenge time.
Oh no!
What would you do?
Oh gosh. Nothing. No, just kidding. What would I
Okay.
do?
So-
If this, then that.
Okay, without knowing anything about con, just using if, how would you add yellow? How would you help make it detect yellow?
Okay. Let me think about it. If the parameters for G. That's a good question. Huh. Yeah, if it's not G, it could either be yellow or space. Huh. But then if it's... So I guess I would first ask it to evaluate if it's G. And then if it's not G, move on to... Oh, without using cont. If it's not G... But it can only do 2, right? If can only do... So I'd have to do another if statement then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if it's G, then return G. If not, then return N, I guess. I don't think so I would do that. I don't think I would do that. I think I would then do another if statement and then be like if. So if it's not G, maybe I should do that. If it's not G, then I want it to do...
It's correct. You said to use another if statement.
Yeah, I feel like I should
So,
use the second one. So like the first one would have to be if the conditions for G, and then if it's not G. So if it after it evaluates if it's not G, then I need to do another if statement that would say if.
Where's yellow? Did we do yellow?
Yeah, no.
Where is it?
I think we passed it. No, we only did green. We did
Where
green
is
and
it?
yellow.
No, it's up there somewhere.
We did one
it's
that
right
was
here.
green or yellow. Yeah,
Okay.
but not one that was just yellow.
So
Yeah.
let's copy that.
Okay.
Copy.
All right. That's helpful. Yeah, so I guess like if it's not green, then I'll do another if statement that would say. Yeah, maybe I would have to use that includes thing then. Maybe that's like if it includes, if the correct word includes this nth letter position of the guess word. So if the correct word includes this nth position of the guess word at all, then return yellow. And then if not, return space.
Yay! That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could type all that out because it was like in my head, but that's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me. Or you can.
No, I ain't doing anything.
Wow, just like that, huh? Challenge. Okay.
No, you can just replace it, right? You're updating the color function.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not starting a new one.
No, I don't think you should.
Okay. So can I start a new space for that? Is that okay? Or is that not okay?
Depends on where you're gonna put it. I don't know where you're gonna put this new thing or what you're doing right now.
I don't either, so I'm not
Okay.
happy.
Well, you don't want to return n anymore, right?
Uh,
Like that's not.
no, it's not
Not a thing.
necessary. So
Right.
if it's
So delete that.
so if that's correct, I want it to return G. If it's not correct, then I want it to go to another if statement. Actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I need it to do this. Does it need to be another? Does it need to be another one of these? That's the question. No, I don't think it does.
If you're gonna call something, you need to use it, right?
Am I calling something? I don't know.
Yeah, you're calling an
Okay,
if, right? Because if you
I
want to
don't
return
understand.
it,
No.
you're gonna Then
Okay, I don't want to.
you wanna say
That if is going to evaluate something.
Yeah.
It's going to do something. So it doesn't need to be in parentheses.
yeah.
Okay, vowel. Yeah, skills of me. Okay, so.
That's good.
All right. So then, okay, so if it's correct, I want it to return to me G. And if that's not the case, then I want it to do another if statement, which is if. Okay, so if. Oh, how do I say it again? Okay, if the. I was just doing so good, and now I lost my train of thought. Okay, so if the nth position of the guess word include. Can I go back to the includes thing?
It's already in your.
Oh, you already copied it for
yeah,
me.
so you just
Okay,
need to do
great. How do you paste things again?
Command V.
V? Oh, weird. Okay. Alright, so if the closure string includes question mark, correct word and guess word. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, hold on.
Right, so those are kind of
Different. Yeah.
So you just need to update it.
Alright, so if the nth letter of the guess word. I don't want it to pick a certain one yet, do I? I kind of just want it to do that in general.
Right.
If the
So
nth letter of the guess word is included in the correct word at all.
But nth guess word needs a number. You just removed a number, right?
It needs a number?
Yeah.
Oh, so can I do 4 numbers? Can I do like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? Because I wanted to. No, I can't do that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, what did your green condition use?
N. Oh.
Right. It's the same deal.
Oh. Wait, but it's green. Is it supposed to be green?
I'm confused.
Me too.
Where did you get lost?
Shouldn't it be? I guess no, because N represents the position, so that's why it's green.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now I was
But
thinking
you
it
were
should be
right in
purple.
thinking like n is either 0, 1, 2, 3,
3,
4. So you're listing all the possibilities that n could be.
Yeah.
But
But
n
that's
is
what n represents.
N is one of those. It's whichever one the user chose.
Oh, I see. I
Right.
see. Okay.
Because you're at a level higher than right. You're like building something that can be used, right? Does that make sense? No,
I think
that
so.
doesn't make sense.
A building
But-
that can be used.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
It can be used with any value.
Okay.
That's what I
Okay.
meant.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Okay.
All right. So, okay. So if the nth position of, oh god, I don't know how to say these things out loud, but the nth
Nth letter. You can just say
nth letter of the guess word.
We could even
La la la.
rename some of these if if it would help.
It's just hard to say out loud, but I understand, I think, what it's
Yeah,
saying.
okay.
But okay, so if the n as guess word, nth, whatever, is included in the correct word at all, then I want it to return to me. I'm going to start a new line. Can I start a new line just by...
There's too many parentheses, huh?
There's a lot of parentheses. Got
Let's
4.
undo that a little bit. Okay. So make sure that you... First of all, let's rename some of these things. Correct
Okay.
word isn't correct word.
Oh, it's
Guess
just
word isn't
correct. I forgot.
That's honestly what programming is.
Honestly.
Uh,
Okay.
So you can see the cursor is going to highlight the matching parentheses. If you click right, you notice that it's doing that. So
Yeah, you're right. I do
So,
know. I do know.
just make sure it's coming after the closure string includes statement, because that's our condition.
Okay.
Okay. So that's your condition.
So if that, then I want it to return to me. Okay, I forgot what I was even asking it. Okay, so if... Oh, all right. So if it's green, return G. If it's not green, and the nth letter is in... Okay, then I want it to return Y. Okay.
Yeah.
So now... Oh, oops.
Go ahead and hit enter.
Yeah, I want it to be a new line. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Oh, forget your stinking caps lock button.
Sorry, I remapped it.
I remapped it. It's cool. I like it.
It's just okay, if not yellow, then what are you gonna do?
Oh God, there's a Okay, so if it's not yellow, so then okay. Blah, 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 blah. I don't even know.
Almost done. We got 20 minutes. We got 20 minutes.
Okay, so
What's going on?
that string probably.
Okay.
What are you doing on? All right. I just don't know where to put it because there's so many. All right, so.
So how many parameters does if take?
2,
No.
3.
Yes.
Okay, it's the if, then the statement, and then what it returns.
And the last one, what it returns if it's true, and then what if it
Oh,
returns
what it
if
returns
it's
if
false?
it's. Oh.
Right.
Oh, so that should still be in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if that's false, then I want it to return to me space. Right? Or no, we're doing underscore, sorry.
Just to be, just
Yeah.
to see it.
I like to be able to see that. Okay.
Okay, that's
I think I did it.
yeah.
It's really confusing, but I think I did it.
I like that you had the intuition to use an if inside of an if. Right?
Yeah.
It's not obvious. So it's like an if does one thing, and then you're like, I need another if statement. So you just put it inside right here.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
go ahead.
The thing about programming is like thinking in terms of what's called recursion. It's like using things inside of other things. So it's a little bit like Lego pieces. It's like you have very few Lego pieces. My friend Brian explained this to me. This is what trips people up when they're learning this language. Is it every other language you have a bunch of different looking pieces and you just kind of like combine them all together. But in Clojure you have one piece. It's like a Lego piece. They all look the same. You notice how they all kind of look the same? And you're just like snapping them together. And that's what makes this language so creative, is that it's just the same piece and you just put them together in the same way that you put any other pieces together. So with if,
It's cool.
you have one sized piece called if, and then you just put it inside of itself.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Cool.
it's called nested. So it's
Nested, yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
you have a nested if statement.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I evaluate this little guy or what?
Yes.
Oh wait. Yeah, right? The
Mhm.
whole thing. It's still gonna be color because I just defined what color is.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I try to use it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's gonna be fun. Alright.
You're already using it right here.
Oh yeah, I was. So I guess
Yeah.
I can just change that up.
Sure you-
Alright. So the color, white flint.
Is it still green? Let's see.
Okay, well actually 0, 1, 2 the two position
Mhm.
should still be green because the third letter is I.
two position. I like that. That helps
Yeah.
a lot. Like you found an English way to.
It's the only way I
To
can make it sense
translate.
of it.
Yeah, found a good
Um,
translation.
So let's try
The
the
Tessobo translation.
Thank you. It's a sober translation coming out 2022. Just kidding. So let's try the for position. And that one should return with a Y because it's the T and it's somewhere else in the word. So let's see if it does.
Why?
Okay. And then let's try to go for the one position for the second letter in the word, which should return with underscore. Yay! I feel like I did it! I did a nested if statement thing, and then I like make the color
Yeah,
function,
you
and
did.
like now it tells if it's yellow or underscore. That's like the whole thing of Wordle, right? We just like accomplished like the whole basic thing
Yeah.
I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's why I
I
said we
mean,
were doing the whole thing, and you were like,
well,
it's not really the whole
no,
thing.
the
But we
big
did, like,
thing,
the
I think,
basic,
is
basic.
to return like the string, like the full hangman string. You know.
Oh,
It's
I
like-
see.
it's-
We're just
it's-
returning 111 right now.
So the idea is,
But that's good.
so it would be
But
nice
couldn't
to
I
have,
do?
like a colors function? It just receives a guess in a word, and then it just returns the full like hangman.
Wait, can I try
That'd be
this and see what
nuts.
would happen? Would that like do what we're saying, but like be super annoying? Oh.
So why doesn't that work?
The function color needs to be called with a different number of arguments. Okay. I don't know. I guess I should have established more
Closure is not
arguments.
magic, right?
Yeah, I
Because
guess
like
not.
what is happening here is it does okay. Color takes how many parameters? It takes a correct guess, and an N.
Mhm.
Right? So you gave it way more numbers than it was expecting. Right? So it's like you violated the contract of what this thing was supposed to do.
My bad, little homie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Cool.
So in order for me to do the full thing, we'd have to do the cond, what we were talking about earlier. Or is
No,
there?
no.
I can do
Conduit's a
it in-
simplification of this. Do you care about the simplification? Do you want to know that?
Oh, it just makes it easier to
Yeah.
do. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is the same thing,
It's the same thing.
okay.
But
But so basically, in order for us to get to like the full thing that we were talking about, which is like for it to return a whole string, we would just.
we need to know more.
We would need
We
to know
need to
more.
know more.
Oh, okay. I need to know more.
We need
be
to
able
know
do
how to
that.
process lists.
Oh, okay.
Like, so everything that we've been doing is just dealing with single values.
Mhm.
But what we want to do is we're kind of creating an assembly line where we have an assembly line of letters, and then like a worker is going to do something for every single letter.
Oh, okay.
Because like we've just been doing one
Letter
thing.
by letter, one by
But
one.
what we do is we have a list of letters, and then we want to have something done for each of those letters, and then at the end we want to like combine them back together again. So it is kind of like an assembly line where you're doing something, you're doing the same thing to each one of these things on the line, and then at the end you're kind of reducing them back together again into
Mhm.
something. So it's a little bit like taking a word, blowing it up into the letters, doing something to all the letters, and then compressing them back together again.
Okay.
So that
So
would
it takes
require,
a little more.
yeah, that'll be
Some more thing.
that'll be
Okay.
that thing.
Nice. Well, we
So
got.
we finished early.
I surely got some good progress today.
Yeah.
Learned a lot. Learned how to do some if statements.
Yeah.
Use my clues that we learned last time and define some new terms. So, and I was able to use it and it works. So
Yeah.
that's really exciting.
Yeah, this is cool.
I like it.
So
It's
we
very
did
cool.
logic.
I
And
did
then,
logic.
Then you put logic inside of a function that you created,
Wow.
right?
I
Called color.
yeah.
And you said, that's really cool.
That is cool.
Like you now know how to determine the color of any letter
Any letter.
inside of your guess.
Yes.
So we almost
That's
put it
super
together.
cool.
Yeah. How's it feel?
That feels great.
Yeah?
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I love
Does
it.
it demystify a lot of like what happens in programming?
Yeah, it's not as hard, I guess. Or at least I understand what it's doing.
Yeah.
So it's making more sense. It's not just like magically spitting out stuff. It's like I'm telling it what it's given and what to give me back. And
Yeah.
like how to interpret that.
Yeah.
And it's just evaluating those things. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's evaluating. It's such a weird concept because I don't think you learn that in other languages.
In other
The
programming
e-value.
languages?
Huh?
In other programming languages or
Yeah.
in general?
In other programming languages.
Okay,
Just
interesting.
like E is a prefix that means out. E value.
Mm.
It's like to take a value out of something.
Okay.
So it's like
Then,
it's such a weird thing in Clojure that you have values coming out of other values, you know? But that's what interpretation is. It's like this means that, you know? It's so crazy.
I'm gonna be a closure expert by the end of the year.
Yeah.
You're over here making my own stuff. I'm gonna go closure crazy, and you're like, chill out. I'm gonna be making my own games,
It's all
and be
my
like, hey
fault.
babe, I just made this new video game. You wanna try and play it?
Yeah.
Like it does something very simple, but it might be cool.
We'll make it a Wordle or a different
Yeah.
thing. And then you can sell it to New York Times for, what did they say?
I don't know how much.
It was a low 7-digit number. They said
7 digits? I can't be that kind of loud.
Oh,
A low 7 digit.
So,
What's
you
still
just need
sounds
your own word game
like really cool.
that can catch fire on social media.
Yeah, honestly, they were brilliant with the making people post their little Wordle scores every day.
It's so shareable.
And it's just once a day, so it's not like you can just
Yeah.
endlessly play, which is also kind of like makes people wait and excitement.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah, they're smart marketing model. They gotta come up with a different kind of thing and catch fire on Twitter or whatever.
I don't know. That's
And then we can retire with our low 7-digit.
7 digits. Low 7 digits.
Low sevens, and we'll just be living our best life. And buy a house and chill out in the middle of the woods.
Was it 7? Was it 6? I don't know.
Either way, I'm down.
I feel
to
like
live.
he sold it for probably 10 or 20 million.
Wow,
You know.
that's enough to like live.
Oh wait.
7 digits
Six?
is like six is like 100,000, right?
Yeah, I can't even count. So a million is
A million is 7
1
digits.
with 6 zeros.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Right?
was it 8?
Wait, shoot! I actually need to write it
It
down.
might have been no. That is a
I'm
6
done.
digit.
Which one
It's
is
a 7
six?
digit.
Which one's
7 digit is a million.
7 digits.
It's a low.
That's what I thought.
It's a low
So
set.
it's like $1 million.
So he sold it for about. I don't know. They didn't disclose.
They didn't disclose,
They
but
didn't
basically
disclose
$1 or
it.
$2 million.
Yeah.
Low key, down to get a couple $1 million off a game, and then like
crazy.
chill for however long a couple $1 million can last me if I do the right stuff.
You know, Braid was like. That's how much Braid made. Was
What?
like in the beginning.
Wow,
It's like he went into debt
dang.
for 3 years. You know, he like had no money.
Into
Then he like took out loans to finish his game. He hired something like 40 artists.
wow.
Finally settled on one. And if you look at the early mangas of this game, it was so ugly. And then he released it to much fanfare, like out of
Wow.
nowhere, on the Xbox like marketplace.
That's cool.
And all of a sudden there was like 6 zeros in his bank account. You know, it's just like
nuts. Can you
so-
imagine?
But that was a lot of work.
That is
But
a lot of
Wordle.
work.
Wordle is just a really, really
Simple.
good idea.
Yeah, it's a
It's
good idea.
just
That's what we need. Just a
it's-
simple, good idea
but it's
that catches fire.
that it feels like such a rare thing.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true. For something this simple to like make such a huge impact.
That's a once in a lifetime. How many lifetimes is that?
Once in a
That's
career, at
So
least.
something so simple that a beginner could program it,
Yeah, I mean, you know, look at
but
me.
it's just there's just so many pieces working in its favor. It's like simple,
Mhm.
easy to learn, shareable, limited, keeps you coming back.
Mhm.
Oh man,
I know. Why did we think of something like this, babe?
I'm not even lamenting that I didn't think of it. It's
I know,
just,
it's just like it's so cool and
crazy
exciting.
that it is a thing.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Cool.
Okay, we'll finish it next time.
Yeah. You want to
Finish
decide?
it.
Yeah. You want to decide and type up what we're going to do next time so we can have a place to pick up where we left
Good
off?
idea. Okay.
Let us know where we're going to go. Defiant.
Defiant. Define a function called.
Oh, we're gonna do another.
We're gonna call it colors.
Oh.
That receives.
Multiple colors.
Correct word. Guess word. And returns.
You're so good at typing.
A color string. E.g. like. Color string indicating which the colors of each letter in the guess. That's kind of a mouthful the way I type, but I think that's
Yeah,
clear.
that's helpful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. I like it. Thank you, baby.
So define a function called colors that receives correct word and a guess word. Notice we're not giving it the letter position anymore because
Very
we're
good.
putting it all together.
Yeah, okay.
And returns a color string that looks like that, indicating the colors of each letter in the guess. So again, we're going to require some list processing.
Gotta learn some more skills to get there.
Yeah. So the constructs we've learned so far might be worth going through.
Yeah.
4 minutes. How to define things. But notice it's really hard to have a starting point because you can't talk about a list meaning anything without actually giving you an example of something like this. So it's like we're learning so many things just in this first thing.
So true.
Right. So we learned how to define things, but we learned the nature of what a statement is. It's just a list of words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is profound because that's what it is anyway. So like a list, it's a symbolic list, right? I can't even talk about
I
this
know,
stuff,
it's
so difficult.
It is complicated a little bit.
We also learned some built-in functions that we have here, like equals, which
Mhm.
means is this the same as that? Then we learned some other things like, there's actually a grab bag of a bunch of different symbols that we can use, like first,
Well, not first, yeah.
and things like that.
Oh, yes.
And
That's true.
then like we built up some functions for determining piecewise, right? Like we started very simple. Said we can ask a very simple question: is this letter even in the word at all? Is it anywhere, right?
Yeah, I liked being able to do that one.
And then we're like, okay, is this the exact letter? Does this letter match the corresponding letter in the other word? Which ended up being simpler than the other one, right?
Yeah, it actually was a little bit simpler.
Yeah. Then in preparation for kind of putting this together, we defined how to even create our own function. And we started by just doing really simple, just showing you the structure, what is required. And then
Learned about sum and prod.
Yeah.
I liked learning about product means to multiply.
Yeah.
Sum means to add.
Yeah.
Fun times. At 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Reminding myself what product and multiplication.
It's not obvious.
It is. I just like kind of am dumb. Okay. No, I remember learning that in like elementary algebra. Okay, that product means multiplication.
I don't know. I took
and sum
abstract
means
algebra,
addition.
and then none of this was obvious to me at all.
I can't take
so
it.
It's like
That's
these are
far.
very arbitrary. What these mean. So it's like sum is the togetherness of some words.
Oh wow.
Based on like a certain kind of operation, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's what it
abstract
sounds
algebra
like.
is so weird because they gave an example of Rubik's cube where it's like you have an operation which is like a rotation. So it's somehow similar to the way that we add and multiply numbers together. Abstractly is similar to the way that we rotate something on a Rubik's cube. So it's like
Interesting.
the operation is not addition, it's rotation of like a certain part. So it's like the sum of like two operations is like rotating one and then rotating again. So it's like adding 4 times gets you back, or 3 times gets you back to where you were before. So it's So you have, anyway, it gets really weird because you start thinking very abstract. So some meaning like the addition,
Whoa, you're already getting
the
tripped
result
up.
of additions, and product is the result of. It's like those are very arbitrary. What those
Okay.
mean.
I don't feel so dumb now because you just made it more abstract.
Yeah. Define a function called green. So yeah, then we're like, maybe we should just start by just creating a green function. We almost created a yellow function, but then realized that it would be simpler to just create a color
Green.
function.
Oh, color, yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
it's
just
true.
like,
We almost
okay.
did the yellow and we're like,
So-
just do the color one.
So this was kind of a wrong turn, but it was interesting to try to create our own function. And we backed away a little bit and said, let's just do that. That's what programming is.
Okay.
A lot of
Cool.
Changing
Changing direction.
correction.
Course
Yeah.
correction. I like that.
And then we finally ended up with a function that you made with a nested if statement, which had some logic in it. Very
Which
cool.
is really cool. Very fun.
Just putting together
Learned a
things that
lot.
we already built before.
Yeah, which is
Right.
helpful that we took those step by step
Yeah.
and were able to put those together.
And then finally just ended up with a function that is able to identify the color of a single letter.
Of a single letter.
And then
Okay.
next
And then-
time we're going to put it together.
Yay!
Yeah. Very
Awesome. Very cool.
Cool. All right.
Looking forward to next time.
Yeah.